Good afternoon, everybody. We are here. We're getting ready to tune into the press conference. There is significant updates in the case of 11-year-old missing Audrii Cunningham from Livingston, Texas. Sounds like we're going to be hearing from the district attorney of Polk County, along with um, the Polk County Sheriff's Department, potentially DPS. Um, we believe that they have found her body. They have officially declared a crime scene under the 59 bridge at the Trinity River over the Trinity River. Grizzly's Hood News was out there on the spot and saw uh, lots of law enforcement presence and headed on over here to where they are now having the press conference. I'm kind of listening to her in the background, but if I put her up, it stops her stream from coming through. So just thank you all so much for joining me. This is the first time that I've really covered something like this, and I appreciate each and every one of you who have joined in to listen and show your support. Definitely not the outcome I think that anybody wanted for this young girl, and you know this being Texas, this monster having the record that he does, and this happening, I can guarantee you he'll never see the light of day again. Um, my understanding is that the the family does know already. Um, I don't know that the family is going to have the money to pay for the final expenses. So if there's anybody out there that wants to give, let me know and I'll find out what funeral home this is going to be through, and you could call and make that payment directly to the funeral home if that's something you choose to do. I know Lambrell. That's yeah. So I did find out that that he was convicted on the enticement of a child charges, but he got a plea deal, so he didn't have to register as a sex offender. Now that's some messed up stuff. I don't think that they should be allowed to plea out the registry when they make those kind of deals. And I believe that happened in Liberty County, which is a county or two over from Polk County where he is now. And according to the things that I've been able to read and find out, that the family knew that he had an extensive criminal history, but they did not know that he had charges involving predatory offenses against children. So, um, I mean, I think it was obvious by his tattoos and everything else that such is the case that he would have, because a lot of those tattoos appear to be prison tattoos. It's really sad, really sad. The mother did not have custody, has never had custody um, of the young girl. Custody was granted to the grandmother, the father's mother. Father worked offshore somewhere. I've heard a couple of different things that he possibly worked on some type of boat, maybe in the fishing industry. I'm not 100% certain. And from what I can tell so far, they did not find Audrii in the water. Looks like they found her up underneath the bridge, from what I could tell. All right. Get this turned up. You may also have to turn up your volume on your side if it's low. Once the press conference starts, I will go full screen with the press conference, so y'all will be able to view it without all this extra stuff over here on the side. And it should be starting pretty soon. Yeah, me either, Mountain Girl. I never will. I don't understand how people can hurt children. I mean, from abuse, neglect, to things like this, to murder. It's really sad and depraved. It really is. Yeah, this is so she did go to school on Valentine's Day and was reported the following day on the 15th when she did not return home from school. Um, Stephen McDougal was the last one to see her. He was supposed to be dropping her off at the bus stop, but cameras revealed that she was never dropped off. And so they had been asking for anyone and everyone who had video cameras along a particular route to please contact them with so that they could come and get uh, the camera footage if it had his vehicle on it. They were trying to establish a timeline. Stephen McDougal was also living with the family on the property in a travel trailer behind the home. Um, so, and from what I've been able to gather, he's been there for about a year. There is speculation that he may have had some type of relationship with the grandmother. Apparently, from what I've heard, this is unconfirmed. It has not been reported by law enforcement, but the grandmother may have some mental deficiencies. Um, but there are some pictures out there of him and the grandmother taking her and other children on like a vacation or something. Very weird. But he has had access to this girl for quite some time. And just from going back and reading the messages that he sent the mother, who does not have custody, her name is Cassie, it appears that, he was trying to set her up because he was going to take Audrii to see her, and she's not supposed to have contact with Audrii, from what I understand. And he ended up kind of ghosting her, and then they were supposed to call, and he was supposed to either have Audrii on the phone or on video saying that she wanted to see her mom. And apparently that call never came through, that video never came through. And then later on in the afternoon, the day she went missing, he reaches out to Cassie asking if she had seen Audrii. Hey, Imagine, it's good to see you. And she said, no, where's my effing child? So, just going back and reading through those messages, it was, I mean, even at the time when I first read them, it was kind of clear that he was trying to set something up. I have read some other things about his incarceration. Right now, he's currently incarcerated at the Polk County Jail. And when they say that he is cooperating from time to time, from what I have gathered, it's because he's been coming off of whatever drug he was on and apparently was throwing feces and urine at times and acting very erratic, and other times was calm and able to give them information about places he had been that day, etc. Looks like they're headed on their way out.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here today. I want to first start by thanking
Bear with me.
body was located at the Trinity River on the U.S. Highway 59. As a result of today's developments, I will discontinue the Amber Alert for Audrii. And I want to thank DPS, Department of Public Safety, for all their help in this alert. The information that we have gathered in this criminal investigation is substantial. The Polk County Sheriff's Office investigators, the Livingston Police Department, and the Texas Rangers, the game wardens, FBI, San Jacinto County Sheriff's Office, the District Attorney's Office, and Trinity County and Liberty County. It's just an outpouring of love from all of our law enforcement partners. My heart aches with this news, and I express with my deepest sympathies and condolences to everyone who knew, who cared for, and loved Audrii. The Sheriff's Office, we will continue to process the evidence that has been gathered to ensure that the justice for Audrii. And at this time, I will turn the podium over to the Polk County District Attorney, Ms. Shelley Sutton.
Thank you, Byron. My name is Shelley Sitton, and I am your Polk County District Attorney. I just want to take a few moments to explain how we're going to move forward from here. Based on all of the evidence that law enforcement has collected, they are in the process of preparing the appropriate arrest warrants for Don Stephen McDougal. At this time, we believe the appropriate arrest warrant is going to be for capital murder in the death of Audrii Cunningham. He is currently still in jail under an unrelated felony charge here. I understand that this is a very difficult time for Audrii's family and for our community. The substantial law enforcement resources that were marshaled by the Sheriff Lyons, I think, should show you that this county and law enforcement, they will come out when they need to protect our children. And the assets that we have been made available to Polk County to protect our children have been substantial. And at this point, as Sheriff Lyons said, he'll continue to collect the evidence and process that. The district attorney's office is going to stand right beside them and follow through. And we promise that you can assure that the district attorney's office will be just as dedicated to this case as every one of these law enforcement officers that are standing behind you to do what is right for Audrii and bring justice to our community. Thank you. At this time, if you've got some questions, we'll open it up to a few questions. I cannot speak to that.
At this time right now, we have transported Audrii down to the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office. At that time, we will await their results to be able to determine the cause and method of her death. We believe that there is enough evidence, yes.
Yes.
Did Stephen McDougal lead you to that location on the river where you found her body? Did he tell you where to find her?
That was evidence that we was collecting through the cell phone analysis, as well as through our videos that we were able to collect, and some of the information that we received from him, we were able to pinpoint and said there were several points of interest that was turned over to us, so that we were able to develop. And thank goodness, and by the grace of God, one of those places of interest we were able to locate.
As I understand it.
Evidence and right now, folks, when we started talking about how we linking evidence to McDougal and linking evidence to this case, we want to be very careful on how we do that. I will feel safe to say this is that there is substantial evidence through the evidence that we've gathered, and some of that evidence was even gathered by the wonderful witnesses and wonderful folks out there in the social media who sent us videos, who sent us pictures. Some of that, even that evidence helped us to be able to come up with these locations, as well as the evidence from cell phones and as videos to pinpoint these locations. At this point right now, until we get all our information back from the medical examiner's office, we don't want to release any information concerning Audrii and condition of her body. That area is one of the first areas of our concern points of interest when we started our search on Friday, or midday Friday. And again, that's going to be developed from some of the evidence. And then, yes, there was some points where he did give information, because there were several places that he said that he had went. So it wasn't a location where he said he took her, but there was a incidents where he said these were locations where he had gone.
Without this evidence that you talk about, would you have been able to find her where you found her? Without the evidence that you just described?
Yes.
You would have found her there?
We would have found her not through him, but we would have found it through the evidence that we collected from the analysis from phones and videos would have. Yes.
Was she visible to the naked
No.
eye? You used a sonar boat. Texas EquiSearch was out with their sonar boat scanning the bottom of the river for her body. They are the ones that discovered the body. Is that correct?
No.
The image.
I'm not going to say who exactly or what agency discovered her body today. I will say this, that due to the lowering, we were able to contact TRA, Trinity River Authority. They slowed down the outflow from the reservoir, and it allowed the water to go down, and her body was discovered there in the water. But I'm not going to say whether it was Harris County or Montgomery County or EquiSearch. It was a conglomeration of a lot of love and law enforcement networking together that helped discover her.
Sources have told us, though, that Stephen McDougal was the one that told you to lower the level of the river. We've been told that he actually told you to lower the water on the river. Is that true?
We talked to TRA on several occasions about lowering it. When they got to the point, or they felt they were safe to start lowering the river, we were able to get them to do so. Whether or not Mr. McDougal gave us information on lowering the river or not to be able to locate her, that's information that we do not want to release at this time.
One more question.
Yep, he did advise that was one of the locations that he had gone. Not that he was saying that she was there or any other location, but we know that he went there as well.
Until we get all of the evidence and all the autopsy reports, we're going to have to hold and work with law enforcement to determine what is the best solution to this case. If the evidence supports that, that is something that we're going to look into.
Is there any evidence she was held somewhere else, or was she killed pretty much today?
We do not have any evidence at this time that's showing that where she may have been held somewhere else. But again, we are still processing mounds and mounds of information and data. Mr. Bob, last question.
Is there any evidence that there was anything used to keep the body underwater?
that is information at this time that we do not want to release.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you all for your questions. Thank you all for all that you've done for us to bringing Audrii home.
Wow. So she was actually, sounds like, found in the water. Sad, sad, sad situation. Very sad day. I know, Buster. I'll tell you what, in the state of Texas, and then I'm sure it's like this across the country, he better hope like hell he's in solitary confinement, because that man has the general population, and it's not going to take long. It's not going to take very long, because those convicts in there will rip him apart. They just don't deal well with stuff like this, especially uh with especially her being so young. And I have no words. I have no words. But he's where he belongs, and he's not going to see the light of day. Guarantee, with it being a capital murder charge, with her being 11 years old, it's definitely going to end up being a death penalty case. I don't see how it wouldn't be. So, again, I just want to thank Grizzly's Hood News has been on the spot. I posted her link up at the top of chat, and then she's really good. She's going back out there to the bridge. They've already taken the girl's body to the medical examiner's office, as you heard. Grizzly's going back out there. I guess she's going to do a little more reporting out there. I know, Classy Colt. It's crazy to me how that's happening. Just by looking at his criminal history, it's very, very lengthy criminal history. And even our courts are so backlogged that they're willing to plea out all of these cases, just from what I'm going through, with the case that's still pending regarding the shooting here at my house. They're gonna end up resetting this trial again. And you think, in the time that these people are out, and not necessarily just in my case, but in general, from the time that they get arrested and charged, they post a bond or whatever, they're out there running wild and free until they go to court, which can be years. And they rack up more charges and more charges and more charges. And, I'm one of those that when it comes to kids, they need to keep them locked up until they get it figured out. That's just or go to court, whatever it's going to be. Or they need to put electronic monitor on him, something. It's really out of hand, and it's unfortunate. And it's part of the degradation of our society, is that is there truly justice anymore? That's because sometimes, and especially in situations like this, when you see his criminal history, when you know that he's been to prison, when he got to plead down enticement of a child charges to where he didn't have to register as a sex offender. And it leaves you scratching your head going, what in the hell is wrong with our court system? What is wrong? Because had he had to register, things might have turned out different. Or the family could have been aware and kept him away. So, with that being said, again, I appreciate y'all for joining me today. I know this has been a short one, but I had to take my lunch break to be able to do this. So I've got to get back to work. And I just wanted to make sure that I followed through on this coverage and was here to be able to bring it to you guys. Hey, shit show. I hope you're having a great day. Troy, I agree. I agree. And I'll never understand it. And I bet tonight they have a hard time sleeping knowing that they allowed that. At least I hope they do. So I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. I'll be seeing you guys around. I really appreciate each and every one of you. As you're out there being blessed today, be a blessing to somebody else. Take care.